Did you know that some of the most well-known facts about history are actually myths? Today, we're going to bust 10 of the biggest misconceptions that have been circulating for centuries. From the Vikings to Einstein, these facts are not what you think. Stay tuned as we uncover the truth behind these historical myths that will leave you scratching your head. Vikings with horned helmets. Myth. Vikings are known for wearing horned helmets. This image is often seen in movies and popular culture. This myth is not true. Vikings did not wear horned helmets. They wore simple, practical helmets made of metal or leather. Archaeological findings have shown that their helmets were designed to be functional and protective, not decorative with horns. The image of horned helmets became popular through 19th century Romantic art, which depicted Vikings as wild warriors. So any movies or illustrations showing Vikings with horned helmets are historically inaccurate. Napoleon was short. Myth. Napoleon Bonaparte is often depicted as a short man, and this led to the phrase Napoleon complex. While many believe Napoleon was short, in reality, he was of average height for his time, around 5.6 or 168 centimeters. The confusion arose due to the difference in British and French measurement units. Furthermore, Napoleon was often surrounded by tall military officers, which made him appear shorter in comparison. Although this belief became widespread, most historians agree that he was not abnormally short. The Earth was once flat. Myth. Many people in the past believed the Earth was flat, and this theory is often used in stories. Although some ancient cultures believed the Earth was flat, like the ancient Egyptians and Mesopotamians, the scientific community has long proven that the Earth is round. Pythagoras first proposed this idea around 500 BC, and Aristotle supported it through observations of lunar and star patterns. By the Middle Ages, most scholars knew the Earth was round, and Columbus, when he sailed to the New World, knew that the Earth was spherical, not flat. The Great Wall of China is visible from space. Myth. One of the most well-known myths is that the Great Wall of China is visible to the naked eye from space. This myth is very popular but not true. While the Great Wall is very long and impressive, it is not visible from space without the aid of telescopes. Due to its color, which blends in with the surrounding landscape, astronauts have confirmed that the wall is not visible without specialized cameras or telescopes. This misconception likely stems from various popular depictions and myths about human-made structures that are visible from space. Columbus was the first to discover America. Myth. Christopher Columbus is often considered the first European to discover America. While Columbus arrived in America in 1492, he was not the first European to set foot on the continent. Viking Leif Erikson reached North America around the year 1000. Also, indigenous peoples had lived in the Americas for thousands of years before Columbus arrived. Therefore, Columbus was not the first, but he was the most well-known European who led significant migrations to the New World. Albert Einstein was a bad student. Myth. There's a popular belief that Albert Einstein was a poor student, which has become widely accepted in popular culture. This story is inaccurate. Einstein was an exceptionally gifted student, especially in mathematics and physics. One of the reasons for this misunderstanding is that he struggled with some subjects, like languages. But this did not mean he was a poor student. In fact, he showed a brilliant mathematical mind from a young age. The myth about his poor school performance likely arose due to misunderstandings regarding his Swiss education system. The Salem witch trials burned women at the stake. Myth. Many people believe that women in Salem were burned at the stake during the witch trials. This is inaccurate. While the Salem witch trials were brutal and many people were executed, none were burned at the stake. In Salem, people were hanged or died in jail. Many women were executed, but burning at the stake was not a common method of execution in America at that time. In fact, burning at the stake was a method used in Europe, but was not standard practice in America. Cleopatra was Egyptian. Myth. Cleopatra VII, the famous queen of Egypt, is often portrayed as Egyptian. Cleopatra was actually Greek, from the Ptolemaic dynasty that ruled Egypt after the death of Alexander the Great. Her ancestors were Greeks who settled in Egypt and ruled it. Although Cleopatra became a symbol of Egyptian culture, her family was Greek, and she spoke Greek. Therefore, Cleopatra was more closely tied to Greek culture than Egyptian. George Washington had wooden teeth. Myth. One of the most famous myths about George Washington is that he had wooden teeth. Washington did not have wooden teeth. His teeth were made from a variety of materials, including gold, ivory, and human teeth. Washington had numerous dental problems due to poor hygiene and disease, so his teeth were made from different materials to allow him to function normally. This included teeth from people who had sold them as donations, and even his own teeth that had been extracted. People in the Middle Ages believed bathing caused disease. Myth. Many believe that people in the Middle Ages thought bathing caused diseases. While there was no understanding of bacteria at the time, many people in the Middle Ages were very mindful of personal hygiene. Royal families, for example, regularly bathed in specialized baths. However, during the plague period, due to a lack of understanding about how diseases spread, some believed that water could carry illness. This myth survived through literature and modern depictions, but most people in the Middle Ages were aware of the importance of basic hygiene. Now that you know the truth behind these historical myths, it's time to share this knowledge. If you found these facts surprising, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more fascinating historical insights.